Right, what's going on? There's a pretty awesome Corolla that kind of lives not too far from where we work up in JDM Distro here up in Arklow. And I managed to sync up with Liam after work, and I just wanted to show you this car because it's pretty awesome. I put a few pictures of it up on Instagram a while ago and it got a really amazing reception. So Liam was nice enough to meet me after work, and yeah, I'm just going to walk through the car pretty quickly because it's just one of these things where like a car comes into Ireland that's incredibly rare. Obviously you guys know that Irish people love Corollas. We love rear wheel drive Corollas like 86s and that, and we definitely love KEs, and there is a lot of them here for a country that loves rusty Toyotas, and a lot of the stuff obviously didn't survive the 80s and 90s, but this is a Japanese import and it was imported maybe 2 years ago.
2017.
Yeah, 2017, and it was brought in by Mr. X. You can see the LH reg. Mr. X lives up in Loud, and he's actually brought in a lot of really interesting cars over the years. He brought in like our friend Adrian's Carina, and there's a good few LH regged old school rear wheel drive Toyotas. He actually buys them when he's drunk, he told me, and he just ends up bidding on random stuff that ends up showing up here. You are not the first owner on it then, are you? Was it Brady or?
Yeah, David Brady had the car there for I think about 2 years.
Yeah, okay.
So there's two previous owners.
Cool. It ended up getting a 20 valve conversion. Did you get that put into it, or was it?
No, 20 valve was put in. I got the engine fully built there.
Yeah.
Fully rebuilt.
Savage.
About 3 months ago.
I'll actually get you to pop the bonnet, sure. Yeah, so you brought this down to show us in work a few weeks ago and I was blown away. I didn't realise you had it. You actually passed me while I was fucking heading out the road somewhere, and I just caught eyes and I was like, no way, fucking savage. So this is a blacktop 20 valve out of a front wheel drive 11, and yeah, you got it fully refreshed.
Yeah, fully refreshed, all genuine Toyota parts. They're just so I know where I stand with the car.
So you just kind of been going through it then since you bought it, and what else have you done then? You have it on, is it on an ECU as well? Or?
No, it's not an ECU.
It's on a standard ECU, is it? Ah yeah, that's cool. Purple trumpets on it there. What's really cool here is it has a Plupsy sticker, which some of you might remember. Plupsy was the video production company that made the first ever drift video, which had Kiichi Tsuchi in it, and some people actually call the video Plupsy, but that's a random little thing that's there now. I'm not sure if Plupsy actually did a range of strut bars, but they're all kind of the same. Kind of looks like the Cusco round tower bar. The car is cool. Basically these Corollas are basically an A86, like a 4-door A86. They've got the same floor pan, so everything bolts in. Kind of like our generation of hot rods. You can literally just drop in any like 4A GE and it'll bolt up. Same kind of subframe. A lot of the parts are interchangeable. It's been converted to coil underneath there, so they'll probably have Yaris coils.
Sorry, there's Yaris coils.
Yeah. That's the exact same as my one, and it's got a blanker, distributor blanker that's on the back, and then a relocation kit for all the water lines. Yeah. Just the aftermarket rad. So a couple of things that are really amazing about this car. Some people have actually pointed it out when they've seen pictures of it and stuff. So this is a Sprinter, and what's really interesting about Sprinters is it's got a completely redesigned front end, and the C-pillar and the rear quarter panel is totally different to the normal KE70. This is actually an AE70, so it had a A-series engine in it. You can see it there, which is mad because most of them are KE70, so they would have had like a 4K engine. This came with a, you said it was originally a 4-speed. Yeah,
1.5.
Yeah, 1.5 4-speed. But obviously now there's a T50 in it with this engine setup, yeah. Has it been converted to disc on the back as well, or?
Yeah.
Savage. So it probably has a full 8/6 back axle. I can spy Project Mu pads hiding in there as well. TRD LSD in as well, yes, sweet. The wheels look like SSR Mark II's, probably 7.5J with a 0 offset all around. They look really fucking nice. They're literally the perfect wheel to put onto this car. And what's cool then is if anyone has noticed that has a KE, I think from here back, this is all totally different. All here, all around, and even the back end, the way the taillights are and the center garnish is totally different to a normal KE70. So what's nuts is in Japan's like bubble economy where they just had way too much money. They decided to just make a different variant of one of their most popular chassis. And the Sprinter, yeah, like from here back is completely redesigned, which is fucking mental. Because unfortunately, when Liam came down to show me the car, I started pointing all this shit out to him, and then he started going, oh man, like, because I was like, if any of this is like, you know, trashed or whatever, you can't use anything from a normal KE wagon or KE70 saloon, because it's completely different. I even think maybe even the doors are different, man. I'd have to like look and compare to a normal one. Maybe the whole side of the car, maybe the only one that's the same as that door. Because if that shape is different, this might actually be different here as well.
Yeah,
it is
cut down in the,
yeah,
it comes
totally
back in
different.
there. Yeah.
So I'll impose up an image here with the power of editing, but looking at one there, the whole back end of a normal KE curves in, and same with the back quarter panel. So maybe the doors are the same, I don't know, but there's a different groove here, it looks like, and all this is completely different, and the entire back end, which is fucking mad. And then it kind of wiped you out of it then, because you were like, ah shit man, like, you know what I mean, I wanted to have a bit of fun in this thing. I just got it refreshed. I guess you can still have fun, you know, but yeah, you definitely have to mind this now, because you have one of the rarest Corollas that was ever made. The fact that Mr. X managed to get this and bring it to Ireland, and then was it the first owner then that put the 20 valve in and stuff, or
no,
was it?
It was sold as a package.
Okay.
It was sold, I don't even think the 1.5 was in it.
Yeah, okay.
And everything else came in bits and bobs.
Yeah.
So.
And you just pieced it all together then?
Pieced together then over a few months, yeah.
Savage. It was a very nice RSR exhaust, just peeping out the back here. Here's the custom tails and the wraparound, obviously different kind of centre garnish as well. But it's a beautiful car, man. And what's mad is, I don't even think they made a large number of these, because I've never seen another one in real life. Even when we were in Japan at any of the meets and stuff, I'd never seen another one of these shapes. So like, I don't think they made that many of them. And I don't think they sold this shape anywhere else in the world except for Japan.
Yeah.
So I reckon, man, there's probably less than, I don't know, I could be way off, but they probably made less than 10,000 of this shape. And because Toyotas from the 80s love to rust, I wonder how many of them actually survived. I mean, this is the only one I've ever seen in real life, and it's the only one of these I've ever seen in Ireland. I think you're the only person probably in Europe with a Sprinter. It's not even called a Corolla, it's just a Sprinter, but it is obviously the Corolla chassis. How does that make you feel, having just a ultra rare version of it?
Nervous, right?
I'm sorry, man. Yeah. Inside then, nice wooden Rarity. There's an Amori rev gauge lurking in there. Even the way all the paneling. Oh yeah, I see your man's name on it there. You've got a nice TRD Duracon shift knob. Check the Sprinter mats, they're absolutely amazing. So the whole interior of the car is that gorgeous blue, and it is just fucking so nice. I love the fact that it has all the mats. It reminds me a lot like your man Jason McInerney's car down in Cork, you know, where like it kept more or less the standardness of the inside, but then the outside of it, like the engine and stuff is all spruced up in the wheels. It's kind of like modern day hot rodding of what people used to do to stuff back in the 60s and 70s. Like, how could you ever throw away the blue interior? It's fucking incredible. Look at that. Pretty badass. Just screams the 80s. Everything feels real crisp and stuff. Like, it's obviously a low mileage car as well, is it?
62k on it, yeah.
62,000 kilometres. That is insane. For a car from, what is it, 82? Or
82, yeah.
to have that low mileage and be in that much of good condition. Even I know you can't sense from the cameras, but the doors, I know it's a bit weird, but they close like a brand new car. Like, there's nothing.
Close much,
like the car, like, it has been babied most of its life, which is nice. And it is incredibly fresh. Like, that's probably pretty much original, I'd say.
I assume so, yeah. Like, there's there few age-related scuffs which
Yeah.
kind of bring back the originality that it hasn't been painted like.
I'd say it's the original paint.
Yeah.
It literally looks really crisp, like almost like new. And like, another interesting thing is, so we got the slant headlights over here. We got I think they only came on the van. From what I can gather, the slant was only available on the van. And in Australia, the slant came on all, maybe not all, but it came on a lot of the KE saloons. But when Liam called down to where we work, I didn't realise, but there's actually the Sprinter logo in the Sprinter glass on the slant headlight on these, which is another just like mad little touch, which makes the glass pretty much like the rarest thing ever, like totally unattainable. So you're gonna have to mind these as well. I'm sorry, I've been just ruining Liam's life with this car by pointing out all this rare stuff. But when I saw pictures of the slant front ones in Japan, I was like, oh no way, I didn't know that they got the slant. And then it was the Sprinter. But then yeah, on closer inspection, they're literally custom Sprinter slant headlights. But like, what an amazing little gem of a car. Like when you brought this down to JDM Distro a few weeks ago, I'd never actually had a proper look at one up close, and walking around and realising all the differences that, like, it must have cost them so much money to do this just for a small run of a really popular chassis. Like, I mean, it doesn't make sense from a business standpoint, but it just goes to show how much money Toyota had back in the 80s and how they were just like, yeah, whatever, who cares? Like, just noticed, yeah, original plastics still retained. Like, it's mad how original this thing is, and it's been done in the perfect way. Like, this is exactly how I'd approach doing one of these cars. You haven't stripped it out, doesn't have a cage, it's not battered. Like, it's a rare car and it's been done, you know, the right way.
I got the wheel out of a Pajero my father imported back in 2001.
Really?
Yeah, he brought in a 7-seater Pajero in 2001.
So you've kind of had the bug from a long time then. It's in the family.
Oh, it's in the family.
I mean, you've a JZX81, is it on the way, or is it a GX81?
Yeah.
And your brother has a GX81 on the way as well.
Yeah.
And what, you had an Evo 3 before this, and then you sold it?
Yeah, the wide body Evo 3.
Yeah, and then sold it because you wanted something more old school. And
yeah, I wanted something. The Evo frightened me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where this, you can actually drive it on and get a real thrill out of it, or you can just tip along and enjoy the sound.
Yeah.
Because the sound of like a 20 valve on open throttle bodies is literally one of the most intoxicating sounds ever.
I had fast front wheel drives, I had the 4-wheel drive turbo, and I just wanted to sit back now, something I could hold on to for a few years.
Yeah.
Being the back wheel drive Toyota,
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah,
the
man.
ultimatum for me.
It really is, like.
Everyone aims to be like.
It would be a hard push if it was this and an 8.6 power next to each other, man. I'd probably be all over this, just because it's everything an 8.6 is, but it's really, really quirky and interesting, you know what I mean? The old unleaded fuel sticker as well. Looks like an old dealership sticker there as well. Yeah, look, it's from a Auto Kitami, so wherever that is. I bet you if you Google that, you'd probably find out where the car is from. What attracted you to the car? Like, was it just...
I was in the market for a long time for an old Toyota.
Yeah.
But as you know, they're just, you can't get them
Yeah, they're
anymore.
pretty much after spoiling out of control.
So the man I bought it off, I knew him well, and I knew there was stuff tucked away in
Yeah.
that, so I kind of got word of mouth, got out and went out and viewed it, and I kind of walked away for, I'd say, six or 8 weeks
Yeah,
before
yeah,
I
yeah.
went back then, and it just never left my mind, so I went back then and done the deal.
Yeah.
Ticked every box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it does, because it's basically an 8.6, but it's classier and more interesting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's such a nice car. I would pretty much probably prefer to own this than an 8.6, because it's super rare, it's super, like, you know, unique, interesting. It's very tastefully done with like nice wheels. It's just classy, man, and it, you know, it has a really nice engine. Like you said, you've been having so much fun with the 20 valve.
Yeah.
Like,
20 valves full.
yeah, like, it's more than you'd ever need in a car like this. Like, it's absolutely beautiful, man, and it's a credit to you. It's nice that it's in the right hands, and yeah.
Yeah, mind her.
Thank you for, you know, hooking up with me to shoot it and stuff, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. I really just wanted to show people this because we've a lot of 8.6 and Toyota fans, and nobody outside of Japan has ever seen anything like this because they're so rare. So it's nice that there's one local, and it's been a blast, you know, hooking up with you again and getting to see it.
Yeah, nice one, Neil.
Yeah, thank you very much. Big formal GA handshakes. We'll close it off there. I hope you fucking enjoyed seeing this incredible Corolla or Sprinter AE, and yeah, cool. Thanks. Goodbye.